Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play of Hiveswap Friendsim. Last time we met, I think it was Cuprum and Follicle, a pair of gold-blood moirails that sort of had a symbiotic relationship. And they were kind of prankster jerks, but we managed to make friends with them anyway. So, we got a new pair of trolls now, I believe. Volume 7 of Business Flagrantly Illegal. So, nice. This person over here, this olive blood, I think, they look pretty awesome. But we're not going to meet them this time. Ever since you were a kid back on Earth, you have always held the deep, close wish to one day travel the world. You wanted to see new places, experience exciting new tastes and altitudes and temperatures, maybe go scuba diving. You never imagined you would actually get the chance. That kind of cool stuff didn't happen to someone like you. Well, you're finally getting your wish, it's just a totally different world. Funny how life turns out. When you get back to Earth, well, you don't want to think about that. Who knows if it'll ever even happen. You've really chilled out recently, found your place in the universe. Drifting from friend to friend, adventure to adventure, is the only way to live. Alrighty, so, these people both look very interesting. Oh, I'm going to fail at pronouncing both of these names, just gonna warn you right now. Is it Remele or Remele? I think I'm just gonna say Remele, because that's easier to say. Remele Namaaq? I'm sorry, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. You've wandered into a part of town that seems to have some culture going on. There are a lot of bright neon lights, and you can't read what the signs say, but you can see arcades, a performance space, and what looks like a movie theater, perhaps more indie-oriented compared to the mall cinemas you've seen before. As you continue wandering, you come across a trendy-looking building with a placard outside that shows a little cartoon doodle of a fancy waiter holding out trays of snacks. You can't read what the words say, but you recognize the intergalactic signal for free food inside. Come on in. Oh, those are some cool trolls in the back, with like some troll versions of famous artwork. Interesting designs, I'm just looking at all of them. You head inside and it appears to be an art gallery. It must be opening tonight because there are festive decorations up and a little table offering drinks and hors d'oeuvres. There are many other art appreciators here, and your adrenaline spikes when you realize that most of the trolls milling around are purple bloods. Okay, I was wondering about that because I saw like the curvy horns and like party hat. You're not sure if some paintings and snacks are worth the high chances of being maimed when chaotic violence breaks out. But you're debating the merits of free food versus probable But as you're debating the merits of free food versus probable injury, someone approaches you. Oh, I like your music, friend. Oh, she's got like... Why are you adding extra E's on the ends of words? Like fake medieval. Oh boy. You don't look like my other patrons. Are you lost? Or are you perhaps looking to start collecting? If you're loaded, ignore that first question. Art is for everyone, after all, regardless of your blood color. I'm not going to try to pronounce her quirk weirdly or anything. It's not worth the effort. The four black pupils in her eye glint and sparkle, and you're not sure yet if it's a menacing or friendly sparkle. She grins at you and it shows all her teeth. I'm immediately wary of her. So what do you think of the art? Have any paintings caught your eye? You look around. You don't know much about art, but you are a nerd. And a lot of the paintings in here remind you of scenes from popular movies and games back home. Oh boy. I don't know which of these is correct. The artwork is stunning, perhaps the best I've ever seen. Troll Mona Lisa who? Haha, stop. You flatter her. She puts a hand on her hip and winks at you, and you're guessing here that she doesn't actually want you to stop. You're also making the connection that she must be the artist who painted all of these. Alright then, another artist. You sense an opportunity for friendship, so you lay it on thick and gush about how talented she is. Huh, I thought you looked like a dumbass when you walked in, but you have good taste after all. Let me show you around. You follow Remele through the gallery, swinging by the table with the free food first. It's pretty good by the standards you've come to expect on Alternia. What you thought was wine at first glance is actually Faygo. No thanks. Faygo's okay as far as soda goes. Not my favorite, but I'll drink it if somebody hands it to me. You may have noticed some themes in my exhibited work. I don't love clowns or gore as much as it may seem. That's just what I have for sale here. If you look at my work online, you'll see more of the full range of my art. But for this fancy gallery shit, Purple Bloods are some of my best customers. Those clowns fucking love art. They're rich. That is a great spelling. They're rich as fuck and they'll buy anything as long as it's violent enough or features religious themes. You've seen the kind of destruction and mayhem that Purple Bloods are capable of, so you're surprised that she doesn't seem to mind being in a crowded gallery with so many of them. Most other trolls you've interacted with have done their best to steer clear of the clown murder cult guys, at least when one of those hate romance relationships isn't on the table. Isn't it kind of dangerous to actively court them for her audience? Oh sure, they can be unpredictable and keeping them happy requires some schmoozing. That's a hard word to say. Occasionally I have to pretend like I've drunk the Faygo or pull some religious references out of my ass. That's nothing I can't handle. You can make a lot more money as an artist if you're not choosy about what you draw. It's true, people will pay a lot for commissions. One of my customers is this blue blood moron who only ever commissions me to draw low bloods in quadrants with other low bloods. Was that Zebra? I've got him convinced I'm giving him a deal on his rate when he's actually paying 5 times what I charge for anyone else. My point is, artistic integrity is for chumps. If you want to get ahead in this world, give the people what they want first. That strikes you as a depressing outlook on the creative process, but you're aware by now that idealism in Alternia tends to lead to shorter lifespans. And you have to admit, looking around at the crowd in this gallery, that her cynical approach seems to be working. You tell her that she sounds pretty business savvy in addition to talented, and she winks at you again. Thanks, I know. Because I make bank doing shit like this, I'm able to fund my passion projects. You should really check out my webcomic. I'd love to check out your webcomic, I love webcomics. But before you can find out what her webcomic is about, she notices another troll has been sidling up to you. As she approaches, she whips out what looks to be a small recording device with a smile. Remele's face goes carefully blank and she crosses her arms over her chest. And how can I help you? Oh, it's a teal blood. Ah yes, hello there, Miss Namaaq. I'm with Alternia Nightly, and I must say, it looks like your first ever gallery exhibit has been a smashing success so far. The journalist's syrupy tone and innocuous words don't seem threatening to you, but you're picking up on some tense vibes from Remele, whose hair ribbon swings forward in front of her face aggressively. Of course it's a success. I never expected otherwise. Maybe not, but some of the art world has expressed surprise at the timing of this. Some have called it bold, considering that you're currently in the middle of a plagiarism controversy. Would you care to comment on the case against you by Trident Media? Instead of being caught off guard by the question sprung on her, Remele relaxes and laughs. Oh, that. As if they have any kind of real evidence that I'm violating their precious intellectual property. All the characters I draw and profit from are entirely original, and Trident Media and their Ledger's Lacerator are just mad about it because the whole internet knows that my storylines are better than the source material. Oops, I mean better than the uncreative works that my comics happen to bear a superficial resemblance to. So you draw fan comics and try to pass them off as original? That ain't cool, friend. Feel free to quote me on that. The reporter takes the quote and scuttles away. Remele seems unbothered, but you can't help but feel concerned for her. Copyright infringement is serious business. Is your new friend in legal hot water? Nah, Alternia barely has any copyright protections to speak of. It's just that little pest Gorjek. It is Gorjek. Wonderful. I wondered about that. It's just that little pest Gorjek trying to stir up shit as usual. The company behind his lawsuit wouldn't even care if he hadn't gotten involved. It's no big deal. Nothing I can't handle. You go back to following her around the gallery, keeping your distance whenever Purple Blood comes up to compliment her on her work. You can tell that despite her confident attitude, Remele is still thinking about that journalist. She taps her foot and frowns at the painting whenever there's a lull in conversation, throwing glances at the door that the journalist left through. You know, it's not like Alternia has a free press or credible newspapers. That reporter was probably hired by someone with a grudge to dig up dirt on me. I don't think it was Gorjek, actually. Too obvious. Amateurish. No, this stinks of my competition. The artistic establishment that thinks all I do is fan art and shouldn't be taken seriously as an artist. I mean, I think fan art is legitimate art, but you shouldn't be selling it if it's not your copyright. So. All of their paintings are in a museum across the street, and they hate that I've managed to put up my own exhibit. Those stuck-up pretentious bold scrubs have been trying to sabotage me for so long. She turns to you, her hands balled up into fists, and the X in her eye flashing with passion. I've been waiting for the opportunity to strike back at them. If everyone's going to accuse me of being a thief and a hack anyway, I might as well steal from them for real. But their security is tight, and I haven't had an accomplice until now. What do you say? Want to help me pull off a risky art heist? Hell fucking yes. Remele does one last round in her exhibit, saying goodbye to her patrons and grabbing her bag, which seems to be mostly art supplies, as you head out the door and onto the street. The museum that she wants to rob is at the end of the block, in a much bigger, fancier building than the one you just walked out of. All the lights are off inside, and it doesn't have any signs advertising current exhibits. We can do this one of two ways. Follow that journalist to steal the keys if she has them, or break in without them. Let's steal the keys. That would leave less evidence than busting down the door. You'd much rather walk through an unlocked door than try to bust it down, and the reporter is still in sight, turning a corner down the street. You try to imitate Remele's casual yet confident way of walking, like she could blend in anywhere and pull off anything. But despite your efforts not to not attract suspicion, you keep getting looks. Not being the same species as everyone around you tends to make you stand out. Shit, this could be a problem. I could put together a disguise for you, hang on. You watch as she starts pulling things from her bag. She seems to have all sorts of things in there, from paintbrushes to blobs of clay to paint, and you think she might be putting together some fake horns for you from scratch real quick? But before she can finish, you realize that one of the purple bloods about to walk into Remele's gallery is staring at you. He looks vaguely familiar, and you realize a little too late where you met before when he starts walking up towards you. Is that the purple blood that, like, when we broke into the apartment with, Polypa? That was the purple blood that walked in with, like, his, red blood, quadrant mate? Yep. You. I remember you. You broke into my apartment. It's the same troll you and Polypa escaped from. So... Hold up, wait... Are all the routes canon then? Because that was the bad route with Polypa. I'm just going to assume everything is canon and we're dealing with alternate timelines, because that is Homestuck. It's the same troll that you and Polypa escaped from. You back away as he advances, a lazy grin on his face. Remele glances from him to you and back to him again. Well, fuck. Looks like I'm not going down to accomplice after all. Sorry, pal. She hoists her bag over her shoulder and shrugs her hands in a what can you do gesture. Then she's gone, the big purple blood's paying her no mind as she absconds. You want to feel betrayed, but it's hard to blame her considering how scary this guy is. In your heart, you know that you're dead already, but you're not going to accept your fate without attempting to prevent it. You make a mad dash to escape, sprinting towards a skinny alleyway and thinking that maybe you can scamper up a fire escape or something. Unfortunately, your attacker's size doesn't seem to slow him down, and you can hear his heavy footfalls right behind you. He laughs, and it sounds somehow dopey and dumb and completely terrifying at the same time. Oh, it's the same alleyway. You make it to the alley, but you fucked up because it's a dead end and you don't see anything you could use to clamber to high enough ground. You turn to face him, hopelessness sinking down to your toes. Your scrappy alien tenure on this hazardous new planet is about to come to a messy end. The purple blood swings his massive club lazily in one hand as he approaches you, not bothering to run anymore. You drop into a fighting crouch, trying to think back to your 3rd grade karate lessons for any moves that might be useful. But before you can crush your skull in, you see a flash of movement behind him. He staggers, dropping the club as something hits him from behind. Oh, she came back! As much as I appreciate inspiring my fans, I'm gonna have to ask you not to interpret my art so literally. As in, no murdering. Remele springs off the troll's back after clawing him and rolls to the side, avoiding his swinging fist. She grabs for his club, which is almost as long as she is tall, but before she can use it, his next blow catches her below the ribcage, sending her flying across the alley and back into the brick wall. She's on her feet again fast, but you can tell that she's injured, and now she doesn't have the element of surprise on her side. The purple blood turns his back on you as he closes in on Remele, laughing again. You can't let him kill her, not when she came back for you, but you have no idea how you can help here. Your eyes land on Remele's bag, tossed to the side in the melee, and in desperation you grab a loose paintbrush that rolled out of it. You dive forward with a battle cry and stab the end of the paintbrush deep into the high blood's calf. Purple blood. Violet blood squirts you in the face. He yells and you manage to roll away just in time to avoid getting smacked. The slight stab wound hasn't slowed him down much, but has given Remele a chance to dive out of his range, and while he's still trying to grab you, she gets a hold of his club again. That is a huge club. It also looks delicious. Like, that is a delicious looking color pattern. She's stronger. Oh, I hit entered by accident. Oh no, she's beating him to death, I think. She's stronger than she looks, strong enough to get a good wind up with that thing, and when he turns towards her, she brings it down hard onto his skull. Okay, I don't know if that would be enough to kill him, but that's definitely some damage. It takes a few more good smashes before the troll finally stops groaning and twitching. Remele breathes heavily, wiping blood splatter off her forehead. She looks up, meeting your eyes. Well, we better run. You are absolutely positive that this is the most dramatic way you have ever been rescued. You can't believe she came back and risked her life for you. Don't mention it. I need an accomplice, right? What is that? I can't see her well through the thing. She drops the club and staggers over to you, pausing to spit out cerulean blood. You remember that she took some damage and hurry to support her, offering her your weak human arm to lean on. Is she going to be okay? I'll be fine. Ceruleans are tough to cull, even for a wannabe subjugulator. She tilts her head, looking down at the way her blood swirls with the larger quantities of purple blood pooling on the asphalt. Huh. That's actually not bad as an artistic medium. The colors and textures work well together. Please don't start painting with blood, like, Amnesia. Oh, yep, that's who. Maybe that blue blood kid from Chitter is onto something. Anyway, thanks for having my back with that paintbrush. That took some quick thinking. We'd make an okay team. I've never killed anyone before, but that kind of ruled, didn't it? You're not sure you'd choose those exact words, but you're pretty relieved right now. You might not have the bloodthirsty glint in your eyes that Remele does, but maybe you can interpret your adrenaline shakes as euphoric overload or something. Hell yeah, me too. I can see why people get into this killing business. If I wasn't such a great artist, I could start switching careers. But sometimes when you're good at too many things, you have to pick one and stick to it, so no professional assassinations for me. I'm still determined to rob the shit out of my competitors, though, and you... Now that we've killed someone together, it just makes sense for us to stay partners in crime, right? Your heart leaps at the implication that she wants to stick together. You truly do not mind breaking every law in the books if it means she'll be your friend. That's not a good outlook, friend. Nice. We probably don't need to go around breaking every law, I just want to steal some art. But maybe we can reschedule the heist for another day. This neighborhood will be crawling with drones as soon as they realize a Highblood was killed. You feel bad that this troll attempting to slaughter you ruined Remele's gallery opening. Oh, are you kidding? My customer base loves this kind of shit. My art will get even more of a violent reputation when word gets out that someone died at my first gallery show. That's metal as fuck. You limp out of the alley, supporting Remele with your arm around her waist, and she directs you to the back entrance of the gallery, where the two of you can clean off the blood and hide until the drones and the crowds are gone. If you don't mind, you can lie low at my place for a few days while we plan this heist. And I might as well get some work done while we wait and scheme. That fight was pretty inspiring. You're already my accomplice, so how would you feel about also being my muse? Does that have the same connotations as Amnesia's muse? Yep, more blood! That was the weirdest way we've become friends so far. Somehow I picked all the right options. That's impressive. Alrighty, so... let's bust down the door. A heist sounds risky enough without spending extra time trying to pickpocket some keys. You suggest this if this crime is going to happen tonight, it should happen now. No time like the present. Good point. Let's go break into a museum. You scoot casually across the street to the museum on the corner. After seeing the kinds of looks your unusual appearance draws from the passerby, Remele takes some fabric from her bag and wraps around your head. There! Now people will probably just assume that you have horns, you're just embarrassed by them being tiny or malformed. Duck into that alcove shielding the museum's back door and wait for me. I'm gonna circle around the block first, just so we seem less suspicious. As you wait for Remele by the door, the reality of this caper sets in. You've been excited about the heist at first, because who wouldn't be excited by the opportunity to sneak around, steal some art, and stick it to the man, probably while Snazzy's soundtrack played? But now you realize that in heist movies, they always have blueprints for the place they're gonna rob, and you have no blueprints. It seems like a dire sign. Before you can get too swept up in your worries, Remele returns. Does she have any idea how to get into this place? Because the door looks pretty unbust-downable to you. Yeah, I've got some tricks up my sleeve. I've never done this before, but it'll probably work. She roots through her bag until she comes out with several paintbrushes of varying size, then crouches down and uses the skinniest one as a lockpick. That's pretty clever. It doesn't work, but then she selects a different paintbrush with different bristles and uses some of the bristles bunched together, and the lock clinks open. Ha! I'm great at this. Bet I could be an incredible thief if I decide to do that instead of art. Do you ever take the time to just sit back and acknowledge how great you are at everything and you try to do, and how much you trust yourself to never fuck up when it counts? You hope that the question is rhetorical, because your honest answer is that no, you don't have a lot of experience acknowledging how great you are at everything you attempt. Your mental acknowledgements lately have mostly been the opposite of that. Maybe it wasn't rhetorical, because Remele stays crouched down like that for a second, looking at you like she wants an answer. When you eventually come up with an awkward shrug, she stands up and puts away her makeshift lockpick, dusting off her hands and opening the door. I guess not everyone can be at my confidence level. Anyway, let's go. Wow, they actually got straight up lasers in here. You follow her inside. Much to your delight, you see that this museum has an infrared laser beam alarm system. It looks so cool, just like in the movies, and you're back to being excited. Remele seems into it too, bouncing on the balls of her feet next to you. Interesting, very interesting. One of us is going to have to get through these beams to disable the alarm. The box to do it is across the room there, see? But these lasers are so close together. You can see the issue. Remele isn't that tall for a troll, but she might be too tall to maneuver through these beams. Even if she bends over, it's going to be tricky for her to squirm through them all without losing her balance and tripping the alarm. But the trolls that designed this alarm system didn't have your hornless ass in mind when they thought of potential intruders. You stoop over a bit to see if you'll fit, and sure enough, yes! You should be able to shimmy your way through these beams with minimal contortion. Fuck yeah! I knew I was right to bring an accomplice. Great thinking, me. And great high skills, you, if you pull this off. You recall what she said about confidence and trusting yourself to not fuck things up, and assure her that you've got this. You face the laser beams with your self-doubt shoved all the way down where it hopefully won't screw up anything for you. You take a deep breath and crouch down and carefully, so carefully, inch your way forward between the wires. Well, they aren't really wires, but... It's the slowest you've ever crossed a room in your life, and there are a couple moments when you teeter and almost lose your balance. You can hear Remele hissing through her teeth behind you at tense moments, but you press on without looking back. And then you've done it. You've reached the box to disable the alarm system, and you have no idea how you're going to do that. All the buttons are labeled in alien alphabet. Crap. Oh, that's right, I forgot you can't read. Press the one that looks like, a meat hook, but with angry eyes. And then press the one that looks like a meat hook, but it's got purbeast claws. That should do it. That sounds bonkers to you, but you look back at the buttons, and our descriptions of the letters were actually pretty spot on. Oh wow, we actually did it. I thought something was going to go terribly wrong. You press the angry eyes and the cat claws, and the whole alarm system makes a soft shuddering noise and clicks and shuts off. You are thrilled. You did it! Who knew that doing something right could give you such a rush? This is just like the part of the heist where the heroes had to sweat for a minute but then defeated the unforeseen wrench in their plan. You are certain that there couldn't possibly any larger wrenches in your plan still to come. Remele crosses the room to join you, giving you an appraising look with her hands on her hips. Not bad. Thanks for coming through for me like that. Now let's get what we came here for. There's one work in particular that I'm here to get. You follow her through the different galleries, passing through sculpture rooms and oil paintings until you reach a display of pieces that looks inspired by pop culture. The paintings and prints in here remind you a lot of Remele's exhibit, and when you look at her and can see that she's rigid, her eyes flashing and a passionate blue tint to her cheek. I can't believe they called me the hack. Such bullshit. Whatever, it's cool. It doesn't actually bother me, I just need to send the message that they don't want to fuck with me. This painting here is a direct rip-off of one of my early works. Back when I was naive enough to put my art up for free, but without realizing it would just get copied and someone else would get all the credit and the profit. Well, I learned my lesson. I'll take this so they can't sell it, rip off their rip-off, and make something even better and turn it over for a truckload of cash. Oh, that one. She grabs the painting, and just when the two of you are ready to heist roll out of there, you hear voices at the back door and what sounds like a team of security guards coming in. I thought this, but I didn't say it. I wondered if turning off the laser beam set off like a silent alarm. Yep. They must have arrived to investigate the alarm system shutting down. You're ready to embrace your panic, but you stop hyperventilating when you feel Remele's vice-like clawed grip on your arm. Don't freak out. Follow my lead and we can still get out of this. You assume that the whole heist is off now that the security has shown up, but to your surprise, Remele doesn't put the stolen painting back on the wall. She gives your arm one last reassuring squeeze before sauntering out of the room with her head held high, moseying with no hurry towards the front door. You follow her nonchalant lead as best you can. When one of the security guards stops her, Remele gives him a condescending, slightly confused look. What are you even doing here? My assistant told me that she informed all staff that I'd be swinging by today to pick this up. Did you miss that memo? Give me a break. I'm sure it must be easy to miss things, right? Because as a security guard, you probably get so much important correspondence every day. Her four pupils somehow give her sneering eye roll extra sarcastic force. She yawns, and with her free hand not holding the painting, flicks some non-existent dirt off her shirt. The security troll, a burgundy blood judging from the sign on his cop hat, looks uncertain and embarrassed. But I get it. I understand crossed wires. Since you're apparently too busy to do your job right, I'll catch you up to speed. I'm the artist behind this piece, and I've got a wealthy patron interested in commissioning something similar. I'm taking this as a reference in order to negotiate a better deal. There's absolutely no way these guys will buy her story. The two of you look so guilty, and you still probably have her yellow sash wrapped around your head, probably looking like an idiot with a head injury. But Remele's staring down this guard like it hasn't even occurred to her that she might be questioned. You have never seen someone double down so hard on a story that's such transparent bullshit. If you want to waste more of my time and yours by calling your superior to verify, go ahead. He might not be thrilled that this mix-up happened because you can't keep up with your emails, though. The security troll was already wavering, and at the mention of his emails, he cringes. His coworkers behind him shuffle around muttering to each other. He steps back, horns lowered in embarrassment, and waves you and Remele through with a mumbled apology. You can't believe this is happening, but the two of you swagger out the street through the front door, legitimate as anything. You don't stop until you turn the corner to the next block, and then Remele leans against a wall and laughs, holding her painting happily to her chest. So this is going surprisingly well, but we already had the good ending, I think, so how is this going to go wrong? Haha, suckers! Feels good to get away with things, doesn't it? It does feel good, you suppose. Mostly you think you're still reeling. How'd you come up with a story like that on the fly? How'd you guess correctly that the security guard wasn't some hyper-organized inbox zero kind of guy who'd never believed they could miss a message? Remele gives you an odd look and reaches forward to grind her sash from around your head and stuff it into her bag. I just winged it, man. You overthink things. My guesses are usually right because I'm a creative genius, but if going after him for emails hadn't worked, meh. I guess we'd have been arrested, and then I'd talk my way out of that eventually too. Wow, you find it hard to believe that she goes through life so easily, with that kind of unshakable belief that she can improvise through anything. Doesn't she worry that it'll catch up with her someday? You want the long answer? It's this. Nope, I super don't. And if you still don't get it, I don't know if it's the kind of thing you can really learn. She picks up the painting again, looking down the street and away from you. Well, that was a successful heist. Now that I've ruined the competition, I feel inspired. I'm gonna take this home and paint. Wait, hang on. With a sinking feeling, you realize that she's getting ready to part, and this friendship might be slipping through your fingers. Sorry, kid. You seem like you're not totally useless at least, but I'm not one for long-term artistic collaboration. It's a lot easier to tuck your way up tight spots when you're on your own. Peace! Well, bye. You watch her go, your shoulders sagging with disappointment. You guys stole from a museum together, escaped together, bamboozled the cops together. You should have bonded over your shared transgressions and culpability. Every crime movie you've ever seen has taught you that heists bring people closer together, but cultural differences? Game over. Welp. That's an okay bad ending. Nobody died. I don't think these choices are any different, but I'm just gonna... No, they're the same. How to go back to main menu? Yes. Your works are kind of derivative. You clearly know nothing about art, plebe. If you don't like it, there's the door. Make room for someone with money to burn and better taste. Go away. She literally swept us out the door. It's kind of amazing. Alrighty. Silence of the Clowns. You handled your foe like a true artist. Well, Remele was cool. Remele, I still don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm just going to keep saying Remele until somebody tells me otherwise. So she was another cerulean blood who wasn't trying to kill us, really. She actually... I'm honestly surprised that she came back and saved our life from the purple blood. That was cool. Like, I mean, pretty sure most of the other people would have ditched us, I think. So that's major points for her. Good job, Remele. You actually have some loyalty. And like, even in the bad endings, nothing bad really happened. So yeah, that was an interesting experience. I kind of like her. Not a favorite, but she's cool. I'd hang out with her. Even if she is doing some sort of skeevy copyright stuff with her art, but whatever. I guess I can't really. Compared to everything else on Alternia, that's very, very minor. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!